Class, today we are going to be talking about things that rot your brain. Teacher, I hear the Rob Taylor report will rot my brain. Is that true?
What a tool.
Well, that's correct, Susie. If you listen to the Rob Taylor report, it will rot your brain. Therefore, you must dive under your desk, grab the back of your head, and do the duck and cover maneuver. Let's see this example. Mama, I want to watch the Rob Taylor report. Timmy, no!
It's too late. You've been warned. Children should not watch the Rob Taylor report.
Somebody please think of the children!
Hey, everybody. It's the Friday Night Rant. I got Marty joining me. Marty, did I blow your eardrums out with that one?
Every stinking show, it's like I have to remember to take the headphones off while we're doing the, won't somebody think of the children?
We need to redo it. I love the beginning with the kids and the old black and white film, but we need to get the Rob Taylor report, put the Friday Night Rant in there, maybe expand it a little bit. And because people love that kind of shit. And I was going to expand the explosion a little bit on AI. I was going to mess around so I could have a full 30-second intro. Because that's actually two videos that I push, when I do the start, I'll push that one video and then I'll push the Friday Night Rant. So we're going to have to redo that. I just, what can I say?
I mean, and we keep swearing that at some point we're going to actually record the commercials so that we can just play them and, take a break. But
and
we haven't gotten around to doing that one either. So, what the heck?
Yeah, what the heck? I know. It's I was sick last week, and that brings me to why our other guests aren't here. Bandon, who I had scheduled for the show, he had promised me Tuesday he'd be on. Today he called me, says, Rob, I am sick, and he described to me what he was going through, and I was like, no, I understand completely. You don't have to go any further. I went through a whole week of that, and so he's got a completely good excuse. And the other young lady who was coming on was Serena, who is the right rebel on X. And in fact, I think
Serena?
Serena. Yeah, that was her name.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I mean, we talked to her at the Douglas County Fair, but I just didn't catch her name, I guess.
And she goes by the handle Right Side Rebel. And her first name is Serena. I'm not sure what her last name is. And I'd called her and we had texted back and forth, and we're supposed to have both of them on next week. So that should be pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll be feeling better. And, she could have come on as well, because we had a pretty good interview with her when we were walking around the Douglas County Fairground, other than the fact that, I was the camera guy. So you didn't get to see much of me, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there in Rob Taylor land that are going, yeah, less of Marty is a good thing.
I'm going to stop just trying to do live from like the fair and stuff. Those are really good when we do a recording.
Yeah.
When we do a recording, we can catch the sound. It does the video, the sound, everything lines up. Because of the live streaming, it's just so hard to get that to do all the things it needs to do and stream out to 5 different places. People are telling me it's just, that's hard for anyone to do it live. That everyone who usually does it records it and then puts it out there after the main recording is done. And so we may be doing that.
Yeah, because that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to be doing interviews, but I'm going to just record them. And then that way I can edit them down for content and clarity and also make sure if something goes wrong, then, we can take that out.
Yeah. That's the nice thing, is that when you do a recording, is that you can take out all the stuff that we say on live TV, you can never take back ever again.
I know.
And it will be used against you, as I have found out. Jane Brown is joining us. Hi, Jane. She says, hello, guys. Real Garza says, Sal is going to be crying about this episode as usual. I don't know. I don't plan on talking about Sal that much. Not much of an interest.
We can do these numbers too, where it's like, oh, and then we pop them up on the screen.
There you go.
There you go. So
Yeah.
Jane says hello. He says Sal's going to be crying. Well, he cries about everything, so why
He
not?
cries about everything.
Love Right Side Rebel. Pre-recorded. Let's see what this says. Yeah. Yeah. It's, we do okay with a live show. I mean, we normally have plenty of stuff to fill. And if we don't, well, we just go, well, that's the end of the show. Nice talking to you. See you later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. Hezekiah is watching. It would be definitely better for you to just record video and put it on later. And yeah, that's for anything that isn't where I'm at a location where I know I have a constant live streaming. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's just getting too much. We did you remember the Cranberry Festival when we were fighting the windmills and we walked around. It was up by the library here in Bandon, and we walked around with all the booths and stuff. That turned out really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because we had issues at the Douglas County Fairground just because we didn't have when we were inside at, We Need Steve's booth, when we were inside, we were sort of in a no Wi-Fi zone there, just because of the building. And then, we get outside and the streaming's a little bit better. And then we have like zero lights. So basically most of that interview was had two shady characters wandering around and talking.
That's all right. That's all right. Sometimes you like to have the two shady characters, but you're correct. We need to get that a little bit more polished in. It's a learning curve. I'm probably going to be doing more recorded stuff, and I probably won't be doing the Monday show live because I'd like to go back to doing more interviews and then having the Friday night panel where we can have people on here. And one of the other guests that was recommended for tonight's show, and I was considering that, was because this goes back to Al when Real Garza was talking about Sal, was that I wanted to have the chair of the Democrat Party on here and maybe have Emily back just to have another conversation with them.
Boy,
because I thought that would be interesting.
Yeah, well, that ought to be a hoot.
I don't know. I think you can, if you talk with people, maybe you can find out where the disconnect is. You know what I mean? And he's someone who I've never sat down with him, and he is running for, this is Garrett. He's running for Coos Bay Council. So I think it's something, it would behoove us to talk to him to find out where he's at.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, why not? It's, and I guess Emily apologized for putting a sticker on the Republican headquarters. So, life's good.
That was, okay. So she did it, and it was something that annoyed a lot of people, but I really wasn't that incensed about it. I was, it was like, what? Well, okay, she did it. It was a little immature, but I don't know. I didn't get all worked up about it myself, but it was really nice. They sent us that bouquet, or sent the Republicans that nice little bouquet of flowers there.
Yeah, I mean, I find it amazing that we normally rag on people for overreacting, and then some of the people that we think are pretty much normal are overreacting, and we're going, hold on, didn't we just tell you that we don't like people that overreact? What were you not paying attention to there? So
I really, the show tonight, let's see, where do I want to go with this?
I like that I'm chewing on the comments, though. Nom, 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 nom.
Let's see. Oh yeah. I wish I don't know how to get that done in a different way. I'll have to figure that out. Let's see. I wanted to go to the initiative. They just had wording on the initiative coming out. Let's see if I can share this. Share screen. Initiative 25. Let's share that. So I learned last week that if I use the other computer, that my signal stays clear.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I was supposed to, when I was going to come by and see what was up with your computer, and then you were sick. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing that because, I figured you're just sick because, you have a grandkid who comes over all the time, and small children are just basically massive germ carrying devices anyways. So
they're little petri dishes of germs, and
and
it's
they
what's
have no
really
problem
gross,
spreading
Marty,
it around either.
is you go to the park
Yeah.
and you got the one dad who really doesn't care if the kid has wet pants, peed in his pants, and he's going down the same slide that your kid's going on and the same swing your kid's going on, and you're like totally grossed out, you know what I mean? And so you wonder why you get these colds when you have little kids around. Well, it's no mystery at all, really.
No, not in the least. I like the comment from let me go ahead and remove the big comment box. And then, okay, so Roseburg's going to have a new mayor because Larry Rich is retiring. So new city manager as well. And then what's the one with, I got to get rid of there we go. And where's the one? Oh, this one. I'm like, okay, yes, I have a face.
I'm not sure where he's going with that, Marty.
Yeah, well, maybe it was because the comments were covering up my face, and I'm like going, yeah, well, that's probably a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And then Democrats are now upset because Drazen is encouraging ballot harvesting, so that ought to be funny.
I didn't know that. When did she do that?
I just read it in the comment. I haven't actually seen it on X yet, but it might be there eventually.
Okay.
And we're using StreamYard. Yeah, I was trying to get OBS working on my Ubuntu box, and I said, "Screw it, StreamYard works." And I've been working with Rob and his StreamYard for a while. So when I went to go do stuff, I'm using StreamYard as well.
So I was talking to Geyer. He does his podcast on StreamYard, and we had both complained about the same problem, that sometimes during the show, about an hour in, all of a sudden the picture will go fuzzy. And you can't even see it on your screen. It looks completely clear, but then when you look at the final product on the platform, it's fuzzy. And he says StreamYard is known for that. And I Googled it, and sure as heck it is. So he's going to go to switch to Discord. I'm going to see how well that works for him. But there were a couple of others that were recommended because they didn't seem to have the same problem as StreamYard. But I don't know. It's because I'm new to the technology. StreamYard is the one that I guess is probably more popular, that more people know about. So it's easier to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, and right now I'm just doing StreamYard for the duration of the Lynn Coker campaign, and then I'll probably go ahead and cancel it and look into other things. So we'll see. I mean, right now, since the only tool I have in the toolbox is a hammer, I make everything look like a nail. So, essentially, StreamYard is our tool. That's what we're going to use for a while here.
And OBS is a little complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually had a full OBS install on Ubuntu and it had so many bells and whistles. I was like, wow, the learning curve on this is going to be just atrocious. And
that's kind of what I've heard, is that it's good, but it's just really complicated.
Yeah. So
Jane Brown says at least a sticker is removable with a little rubbing alcohol and a razor blade. It didn't even take that. We just, with the fingernail, and we just pulled it off. Like I said, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was on glass. Jane says IP25, www.OregonFreedomAmendment.org, Oregon Freedom Amendment Facebook page. Everyone should go there, check it out, because, and I'm going to read this in a minute, we're going to be dealing with that petition coming out. Steve Hamerson says hello from Yamhill County.
What's Steve doing in Yamhill?
I don't know. Say hi to Sam Hill in Yamhill.
Yeah. What, the Sam Hill? He's in Yamhill.
Sam Hill. He's in Yamhill. So Steve Hamerson says 2 Roseburg City Council incumbents are not running either. And Hezekiah says about Emily. What about Emily? What are you about Emily? You notice Emily and Sal seem to have had a little bit of a pardon. Have you been keeping up with that?
I noticed that you never see them in the same place at the same time.
Ooh.
So maybe they're one and the same.
Maybe they're one and the same.
Put Sal in some dungarees and put a different set of glasses, and bingo, you got Emily.
I've seen Sal in person and I've met Emily in person, and Sal, it's you might think so, but it's not possible. Believe me,
I know. I've met them both in person as well. I was just joshing.
Okay. All right. So Jane Brown says, despite her previous legislative efforts to nix Oregon's vote by mail system and implement more stringent rules around voting, Christine Drazen will rely on volunteer ballot couriers to help her supporters get their ballots in on time this November. The practice, sometimes referred to as ballot harvesting, is allowed in certain caveats. The Republican senator and candidate for governor has the practice doesn't conflict with her previous legislative work to switch Oregon to a in-person voting. What do you think, Marty?
No, and I agree with that assessment because, essentially she's just trying to make sure that she has, feet on the ground, boots on the ground, people going out and making sure that people get their ballots in on time, which is, we're stuck with vote by mail. There's nothing we can do about it right now. I'm not certain whether we're going to have that for much longer, because basically the United States Postal Service has been given an order that says they cannot deliver ballots unless they get verified addresses, and the state will not turn over their addresses. So
where is that right now?
Well, the last I heard, it's like they're not going to turn over the voter rolls, and if they don't turn them over, then they don't get verified voter lists, and without verified voter lists, the United States Postal Service will not deliver the mail. So if they don't deliver the mail, what's going to happen? Is Tina Kotek going to hand deliver all 4 million ballots?
She will. She will carry it on her back from house to house, because that's the type of good communist she is. She is one of the workers. Yes. Social distortion. Yeah. I got a social distortion. I paid $40 for this t-shirt, and then I went in and listened to the concert, and that son of a bitch, I think it's Mike Ness, I think he's the lead singer of Social Distortion, preaches to me about how I have white privilege. I nearly went down to the stage and beat him to death with his own damn shirt. White privilege? I paid $40 for this, USOB. Jeez, man. Nothing like someone going off on his constituents there, talking to me about how I'm privileged. I worked my ass off to get to this concert. I paid like $100 and some odd per ticket to go to see this guy, and he can hardly sing anymore. And then he has the nerve to lecture me. When you're giving your t-shirts away to the proletariat, you come see me, Mike Ness. Yeah, sorry. I had to go off on a rant.
Well, that's why it's called Friday Night Rant now, isn't it?
Damn.
Yeah, because there's nothing. I mean, one of the things I always thought was funny about punk bands is that they're always like, Rage Against the Machine, and the establishment sucks, and don't be a capitalist pig. And then it's like, but pay $40 for my shirt and $100 for a freaking ticket. And I'm like, hold on, what?
We're anarchists. We just want single payer insurance plan from the government. That's all.
Yeah. And we want our roads to be taken care of, and and we want clean water, and we want
clean water. But we're anarchists.
We're anarchists, so long as it's in a safe environment.
Jane Brown says, "I just posted the article from Portland Mercury." Okay, and Real Garza says, "Always feel free to reach out to me if you need a few OBS technical suggestions. I'm an open book. I may have to at some point." He also says, also, I always love helping people for free. I'm an OBS freak. LOL. That's hilarious. Hey, Roman Rogers is joining us.
Hey, what do you know?
Looky there. And Roman says, Carrie Goodhart is a true patriot fighting to protect our constitutional freedoms here in Oregon. IP25 is going to take all of us to get in it in our state constitution. 24 other states have it in their constitution. Let's be the 25th. And I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, can
That's
you
interesting.
give a quick recap of what IP25 is all about? Because I had somebody contact me about it earlier last week. Actually, they said, "Hey, we're going to have a Zoom meeting on Friday night, and we'd like you to join us for this IP25 thing." And I'm like, "Well, Friday I'm usually busy, but yeah." So if you can give a quick rundown of what this is about,
So
because I'm sure this,
Carrie
yeah,
Goodhart, who is a wonderful lady, we've worked together on several different issues and several different petitions. She's familiar with the state petition process. She decided that she was going to file an initiative for 2028, November 7th of 2028, and it's a constitutional amendment, so it has a higher bar, meaning they have to get a little few more signatures than just a regular initiative to put it
yeah,
on the ballot. So when you sign the petition, you're not signing yay or nay, you're just signing that we want to put it on the ballot, whether we need an amendment to protect the rights to hunt, fish, farm, trap, ranch, grow food, and wildlife management, as if we need a constitutional amendment to do that, because it's so self-evident it shouldn't even be questioned, but you know how we are.
yeah.
And the draft ballot title due from Attorney General is August 26th. So that's supposed to come back. Remember when they did our ballot title for the county one, the wind turbine thing? You remember they had
Yeah.
to do
Mhm.
it's the same type of deal. They're going to send
Yeah.
it from the Attorney Generals, and they'll put some, hopefully if he's smart, if this guy is smart, he'll put a really good ballot title on there. Like,
Yeah.
wake up, dumbasses. This is, it's time to hunt and fish. What the hell?
Get your head out of your buttocks and sign this bill. But
But
yeah, I mean, and that's it. The initiative process is it's like it's 4% for some stuff, it's 6% for some stuff, and it's 8%, I think it is, of the people that voted for governor in the last election you need 8% of that number to sign a petition to get it put on the ballot.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go. We had a few more comments.
Yeah.
We had a few more comments. Let's see. TJ. Hey, TJ. Thanks for joining us. I love the Sal and Democrat infighting. I have been telling them he is their loudest spokesman, and now they see I was right.
Yeah.
And he is. I believe that there are people who send him messages. Dee Dee, what's her name? Dee Dee Murphy.
Dee Dee Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a confidant of Sal, and so is Drew Farmer, and so are a few people from the Democrat Party, and they whisper in his ear and they tell him things he should be saying and shouldn't be saying. And I don't know if you see it in his latest post where he's come out and he supports Garrett King. Like I said, he's now
No, I actually pay zero attention to the guy. So
I try to too.
yeah, I only get Sal third person because I see Coos Chronicle or somebody else bagging on Sal, and then I go, "Oh, there's Sal again." But I never go looking for his stuff. I never follow the Coos Bay page because it's like,
Right.
this is not indicative of Coos Bay. I mean, when is Coos Bay's main spokesperson a registered sex offender? Was the Chamber of Commerce like involved in this? Did they pick this guy on purpose to do their Facebook page? Because I don't think so. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
I was going to go to the next Chamber of Commerce meeting and ask their leadership why they're not doing something for the small businesses who are being boycotted or attacked for their political views. And I gave a couple of examples of people who I know who are friends of mine. They're progressives, and they own shops here in downtown Bandon. One of them was Jessica, who owns the toy store, and we go shopping at the toy store. We don't agree with what she talks about and being supportive of the Democrat Party, and she's very progressive. And so I hate this boycott crap.
Yeah.
Where we're going to destroy each other. And I'm going to go to the Chamber of Commerce and I'm going to ask them, why are they sitting back and allowing people to target one business or another. And if it was our side doing the same thing, I would
never
be
hear the end of it.
really ticked off about that.
Well, yeah, I'd be ticked off about it too, but I'd also be like, if it was our side doing this kind of stuff, the cancel culture and the trying to run people out of business, it would be 24/7 news articles. But when they do it, it's fine. So,
Yeah.
So,
Real Garza says, got Hez and TJ in the house, party time. Uh-oh. They'll be getting the cops calling them. Jane Brown says, if you tap see more on that, the link for the Portland Mercury article is there on Drazen. And you can go see that on Jane Brown's, what is it, on Facebook page, Jane? You'll have to let us know. I got all the Chamber of Commerce on speed dial. I bet you he does. I bet you Sally Boy does. And that's not the real Sal J.
Yeah, I saw I saw Facebook recommended that I friend Sally Boy, and I'm like, I wonder if I should. I'm so very infrequently on Facebook anyway. I'm not a big fan. So
no, not a big fan. And like you said, the only time I get it is when it's a third party person.
Yeah. I bet Gedry's in on that, on the whispering to Sal.
No. I've heard through the grapevine that Gedry is on the outs. They no longer get along with each other. I guess that he served her purpose and she used him well, like he used up Kleenex and wiped her nose with her and other gross, disgusting body parts and threw him aside, casted old Sally Boy aside.
Oh, yeah. Well, casting aside Sally Boy, I think if it was just a used Kleenex, it would probably be the least of your worries. But
yeah, no kidding. Don't touch that Kleenex.
Yeah.
Sally Boy says, I could be friends with everyone. Yeah, I bet you could. So I don't know if you saw this. I don't know why it bugged the hell out of me, but Ebola cases in Congo exceed 5,000. Government data shows, and they can't contain the virus. Have you been checking this out? This is crazy.
No, I mean, and Ebola's, I hope they have travel bans to and from Congo right now, because, you only have to see a couple of those movies to realize how how absolutely horrible Ebola could be. So.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I can see Chinese doctors, after they got all that American money to give us the China virus, the Fauci flu. Mm-hmm. Now they're sitting back, they're going, wow, we can take this COVID and we can take some AIDS, we'll put some AIDS in there and we'll put some Ebola in there and we'll just mix that all up in the blender. In here we got super COVID AIDS Ebola coming to eat your ass. And maybe I'm crazy, but that's the kind of shit they're doing. They're trying to make this stuff even more deadly. And it's going to be like a futuristic dystopian movie where we're all killing each other because we're trying to keep ahead of the disease, the virus that's coming. I can see it now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just living in fear.
Well, no, I mean, the whole thing is that they have these quote unquote gain of function research centers, which used to be called chemical warfare places or, or viral warfare places. And and that's what they were. They just gave them a new cooler media and marketing name, gain of function, as opposed to, your Ebola growth center. But I mean, I read and this was back in 2017, somebody sent me an article from the Lancet, which is a medical journal. Yeah. And they said, what they've done is they've jacketed the coronavirus because the coronavirus has a hard time getting through cell walls. So they put an AIDS jacket around a coronavirus. Mm-hmm. So it could get through the cell wall and going through, it's like a shape charge. The AIDS virus is destroyed going through the cell wall, but then the coronavirus is deposited in your cell, and it's like, oh, super.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. A little AIDS Ebola cocktail we're gonna pump into you, and and
then at some point, it's not just going to be a lab leak. They're going to get to something where it gets out of the lab. They don't know it until it's too late, and then it mixes with something else, and then you know, and in news today, all of Brazil is dead.
And yeah, it will be. Imagine the mask we'll have to wear then. It's but I don't know. I saw that on the news, and I just had to go through that because it just 5,000 people with Ebola, and anyone go look at the pictures. I mean, it's not a good thing. So yeah, this is I think I'd rather get hit by a car. I don't know, shot by a bullet or something, drop off a cliff.
You put it this way, they won't have it for long because I think it's like a 2-week start to finish type of thing. It's quicker than pancreatic cancer, I guess, but you know, that's not saying much.
It's not saying much. So tomorrow we have a flag wave. I don't know if you knew about this one.
I saw the ads for it on the Facebook because what's her name? Was
Linda.
posting it. Yeah.
Linda Johnson is posting it, and she's hosting this. I'm going to try to make it out there from 3 to 5 to show my support. It's just American flags. Bring your American flags. We'll be standing out there looking crazy for 2 hours, and so let me know if you want to go. We'll drag you out there.
Yeah, I think I'm doing something. Well, let me check my calendar.
That's okay.
No, I think it's 10 o'clock that I'm doing something. So yeah, afternoon, maybe kind of sort of could.
All right. And tomorrow, and this was interesting. Actually, it's the 29th. Popsicles with Patrol, and this isn't Paw Patrol. My granddaughter, she probably saw this and went crazy. Paw Patrol, it's all right. We're gonna go out there. No, honey, it's Popsicles with Patrol. And so I guess they're trying to do cops are cool. Have your kids meet the cops, and I can understand that. So
where's Ferry Road Park? So it's next Saturday, the 29th, not this coming Saturday. So a week from this Saturday, from 1 to 2:30 at the Ferry Road Park.
And Ferry Road is you're going out of North Bend just before you get to the bridge. It's your second to your last right, somewhere in that area.
Yeah. Okay, good point. Yeah, I remember seeing that last time I crossed the bridge when I was driving to Eugene. So,
one of the other news stories that I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the trial of Lindsay Clancy, the woman who killed her 3 children.
No, I immediately took that out of my brain capacity the second I read it. I was like, nope, not getting involved in this one because this is just going to be another one of those Carmelo Anthony, people are donating millions of dollars to the wrong cause kind of things. And I was just like, nope, not getting involved.
Got a video for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. You're so wonderful. You killed all 3 of your kids. You killed them good. You did. I mean, what? I mean, I'm sorry. What sick people cheer on a person who killed these 3 beautiful children? And I'm just ticked off that this is not what's being shown. It's the crazy woman who killed these people. Her name is out there. Her picture is out there. But these are the 3 angels that we should be thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of the whole thing. You're like, first off, who cheers somebody that murdered their children? I mean, that's just I mean, it's indicative of what a screwed up society the left has turned us into. It's like you're cheering on somebody that committed, what is that? Fratricide, patricide, when you kill all your kids. Yeah. Well, whatever. It's whatever side it's on is just horrific. And then they're cheering for her and like donating money. And I'm like, yet, it's like, and they're cheering on illegal aliens that are murderers and rapists. And I'm like, wow, you guys are just, it's not even like, oh, well, we're being divisive. It's like, no, you just turned into horrible people and I don't want anything to do with you. And
it's like that Luigi Mangione guy. They put him up on a pedestal as well, and the guy pleaded guilty to murder, said he was guilty, and as the wife of the man who was murdered was coming out of the courtroom, they're cheering for Luigi about what a great guy he is, because he had every right to murder that horrible capitalist health provider, which I'm not a big fan of big health providers myself, but we don't shoot them in the back of the head cowardly like that.
No. I mean, if you're going to do it, stab them, and just stab them and just go, hey.
At least look them in the eye and tell them why you're doing that.
I mean.
Go ahead for Lindsay with the mental health. I don't know if you'll ever have this many women in one place at one time who may understand all of us on a level that others don't. So.
Sorry about that. Yeah. My fingers slipped. I hit the button. That was the other video I was going to play.
And now it's like all these people wearing pink and making little heart signs, and it's like, what would they do if you ran up and grabbed their, because there a couple of them were carrying infants. What would they do if you ran up, grabbed their infant, and stomped its head in? And it's like, well, you're fine with killing small children, so why are you bitching?
Yeah, why are you bitching? And of course, you would never do anything like that. That's the whole thing. It's our. We would be the first ones to step up to stop someone from killing their kids.
Yeah.
3 infants. And some of the women were blaming the husband. That's my favorite, blaming the husband. He didn't show enough attention. He just didn't see the signs. And I think if I remember correctly, she was on a bunch of drugs and antidepressants. So,
well, yeah. Well, but I mean, insanity is a defense, but that doesn't necessarily make it better. It's, it's like, okay, you're insane. You should rot in jail for the rest of your life so you don't do this to anybody else. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't quite, this is beyond logic. I mean, I have issues with them, her killing her children. But I have even a bigger issue with people that are supporting the fact that she killed her children. Right. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. I graduated high school in Bandon, and I'm originally from a small town in Iowa where this kind of stuff just doesn't happen. I mean, you just don't do things like that. And being depressed and being first off, if you're hopped up on drugs because you're depressed, maybe you need to see a better psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Because it obviously ain't working.
Well, wouldn't you? Okay, there are some times that, when I was with my son and I was, when he was really little and I was with him for long periods of time, it got a little stressful. You know what I mean? Nothing like being the mother and going what a mother goes through, but I get it. It's very stressful to be around an infant. I mean, they really can't tell you much. They just cry a lot. They poop a lot, and then they cry some more, and then they go to sleep for long periods of time. And that's how anyone could, if you get depressed or, and if, in my case, if I was someone who I was getting tired of the baby, I would call somebody. I would, reach out to my mom. Mom, I just can't take this brat anymore, and by the way, I want to apologize for me being a brat for all those years. Now I understand. Now I understand why you called me all those names.
You don't realize parenting is such a pain in the ass until you become one. It's like, it's like a little late now since both my parents are long since dead, but I'd like to go back and apologize for the fact that, I was actually a fairly well-behaved child, but at the same time, it was, all the stuff they were going through. And it was like, I'm sure I wasn't that much help. So, but yeah, I mean, I look back and go, once I became a parent, I was like, yeah, you know what? I have a lot more empathy for my parents now. I get it.
A lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more empathy.
It's like,
Jane
can you
Brown
just
talks
shut
about
this
her.
thing up for a minute?
please take it away, please.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the richest man in the universe was the guy that invented the on-off switch for children.
No, that's hilarious. Oh no, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
That is totally insane. She needs locked up, either in prison or in a mental institution. And no. She needs to go to prison. She needs to be punished, and she needs to go there for the rest of her life. And in my world, and she's lucky she doesn't live in my world, if I ruled the world, she would be hung in front of a crowd of her peers, and they could cheer them on with all their pink little sweatshirts as her feet dangled. Okay. That's just, and that to me is a message to everyone else out there. If you're thinking of killing your kids, you're going to swing in the yard on the yard arm. What can I tell you?
Well, I kind of wonder, because I know that in men's prisons, if you're a convicted pedophile and you go to men's prisons, you're not going to have a good time of it. Right. There's in California, there's a guy that's on death row in California. He's been there for a while, and he's partially crippled, but he has beaten, like, I think 6 pedophiles to death with his cane while in prison. And I'm wondering if you get put into women's prison because you killed your children, I'm wondering if you get kind of the same treatment from all the women that are in prison that are going, I wish I could get out of prison so I could go see my children. I don't like seeing them on metered visits. And here you are killing your children. Right. And we don't take kindly to that in here. I'm sure it would be the toned down version of that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, but the thing is that I don't know if women, they are like that in prison. I don't know. Nope. All I know from women's prison is what I've seen from the movie Caged Heat. I think it was Shannon Tweed.
Probably not a true to life indicator of what goes on.
They weren't in there fighting with their breasts popping out. Oh my God.
And they all had makeup and, No,
that's horrible.
Not at all. Yeah. It's like when you hear about, it's like, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, I hear there are nude beaches. That sounds like it'd be so cool. And then when you're older and you actually go to one, you're like, yeah, not.
Jane Brown says, as a society, we made infanticide the normal and abortion up to moment of the birth. And yes, pretty soon you'll be able to take them out for a Happy Meal before you kill them.
Well, I mean, this is essentially retroactive abortion anyway. So it's just, So, they were in their 85th trimester when they were.
I can understand at 13 and 14, you want to kill them. That's about the age you want to kill them. And it's like, that's okay. I want to have a postpartum abortion. Sir, you can't have it at 14. Okay, and you're a man. Well, shoot.
Darn it. I don't. I identify as whatever it takes so I can get this done.
You didn't want to go on the dirty with this campaign, but I gotta ask you, what do you think of this Court Boyce thing?
The thing is, he's calling on Sheriff Ward to resign because. I mean, and I have you read the document where it's like basically, the Court Boyce document that said, this is why I want you to resign. Yeah. But it's, he was asked to produce documents. He refused to produce documents. And then when he was forced to produce documents, they still found stuff that he hadn't produced. And he's getting all this money and all these things from some sort of, slush fund that was put on by like one of the originators of Federal Express or something like that. They have like a trust fund that, it's supposed to go for law enforcement, but basically it's been going into his pocket, to the tune of about $300,000. So, how's it, RVs, jet skis, ATVs, big buildings, all this stuff. but that's for the sheriff. I mean,
Right.
I'm basically, Court Boyce going after the sheriff, I don't have a problem with. It's interesting that he's kind of going after the sheriff because it's just, somebody has to do it. And it's obviously not going to be, it's got to be somebody that's slightly higher in the pecking order. I think if anybody else went after the sheriff in Curry County, it would be a big problem for them, not the sheriff.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be a huge problem for them. I think that Boyce, I think he's legitimately concerned. Don't get me wrong. I think he's legitimately concerned because his family is steeped in law enforcement in Curry County, going back to his dad all the way up to the 70s, late 60s. And it's kind of ironic because his dad, Alan Boyce, resigned in kind of a controversial reason as well. Even though Alan Boyce was a bad, macho, badass dude. I mean, I have complaints with him. He civil rights wasn't so big with Alan Boyce. If that hippie had too long of a ponytail, well, he might come up missing that ponytail. You know what I'm saying? And those stories are true. That's not BS. And so, so it's kind of ironic that Court Boyce is now kind of, leading this charge. And I agree with you. After what I've seen, I believe Sheriff Ward is innocent until proven guilty, totally innocent until proven guilty. But dude, there is a lot of preponderance of evidence and people are losing confidence in your department. Maybe you might want to consider resigning. Especially if you're guilty, you need to resign, dude, because this is looking bad. And the other thing was, and I pointed it out in this article, is that Boyce is supporting Lynn Coker. I know you're a big supporter of Lynn Coker. I'm good friends with Lynn. And the sheriff is supporting Dumeyer because Dumeyer probably would give him the cover that the sheriff needs, I guess, to do whatever he's doing, because Dumeyer has his own problems with MREs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I thought it was funny because Boyce basically convinced Dumeyer to resign as the head of emergency services for Douglas County, or not Douglas, Curry County. I get all my counties mixed up nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was head of emergency services, and he quit, saying that he was stressed out because Court Boyce was giving him a hard time about stealing all those MREs. And I'm like, so hold on, you're saying you run emergency services, but you quit because you're stressed out that somebody called you on a crime that you committed?
That you committed. You admit to committing.
Yeah. And he just said, well, and his defense was, well, I thought it was okay to give these things away because, and I'm like, how could that be? At what point do you go, instead of delivering them to where they're supposed to be for emergency situations, you hand them out to friends? How does that, how does that even, it's like,
it's not right. It's plain and simple, not right. And if I did it, he'd be arresting me for the same thing if I did it.
Yeah.
If my boss caught me taking the inventory, MRE inventory from work and giving it to my friends, even if I was selling it, and he called the sheriff, that would be theft. It was, if it's over a certain amount, it could be a serious crime.
Yeah, no, and I have the arrest records, and I can tell you the exact dollar amount and all that good stuff. But the thing that I thought was funny, though, or annoyingly funny, was that here's the guy that's theoretically the head of emergency services, and he quits in a tizzy because he's upset by Court Boyce's bad words. I'm like, this is supposed to be the guy that's running emergencies. And yet he can't handle a personal emergency where somebody's just saying you're a bad person for stealing. And it's like, and even if he gave it all back, and from what I understand, he did,
but it doesn't matter.
Even if he gave it all back, it's a matter of, if you get so stressed out, you have to quit because somebody called you a name. How the hell are you going to run the emergency services when there's a real emergency?
If I rob a bank and they catch me and I go, oh, well, I'm giving it all back to the bank. Don't worry. I'm just going to give it back. In fact, it was just a loan.
Yeah. It was just an unrecorded loan.
I'm a little more assertive when I ask for loans.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that pesky paperwork. So I waved a gun. They gave me money. It's like a loan application with bullets.
You want to hear even, this is more ironic that it's court voice and that it's about a guy who got in trouble, got the citation. Court was investigated, and I forget which agency. I believe it was a federal agency. He had a boat business, and they were investigating him for selling boats that didn't match the VIN numbers and stuff. The numbers weren't matching up and stuff on the boats. And so, and I believe it was Boyce Boat Jets or something like that was the name of it. But he also has been, he's faced controversy. And at the end, there was no charges. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just weird that this stuff keeps happening in Curry County. And you're like, what the hell's going on with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of odd in that you just keep seeing this stuff. And it's like Curry County, Douglas County, it's like, what's up with Douglas County, like having money that kind of disappears from the books?
Yeah.
And nobody can put a finger on it. I'm like, really? It's not that hard. I've used spreadsheets. I've used QuickBooks. You don't magically lose $20 million. At least I don't. I don't know about you, but so.
Nope, not at all. And by the way, I got an interview with Lynn Coker that everyone can go watch. It's on YouTube. It's on Rumble. And you can find more of these stories at robtaylorreport.com. And let's see. If you want, please go to the Rob Taylor Report website, robtaylorreport.com, and sign up for my newsletter. I haven't sent one out in a couple of weeks because, it's one of those, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Bother people. I hate bothering people, Marty.
Oh, come on. You live your life to bother people, don't you?
No, not so much. Port Orford said no to flock. That also is on the website.
Can we get Bandon to do the same?
I think we need to talk to Archie Garrett and talk to him about presenting to the council see if they'll do an ordinance. If they're just going to do a resolution, I'm going to tell them, screw it. I'll just do my own. Yeah.
And then there's also currycorruption.com where you can see all the paperwork for the what's going on with the Dumeyer and the sheriff and all that good stuff.
You got a link for that?
Currycorruption, one word.com.
Curry Corruption.
I can probably type it in, can't I? Let me see if I can.
You can type it in and you can share it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
I was very happy with one of the candidates running for North Bend City Council. It's Mary Jo Golder, and she's She is completely against the flock cameras. She wants the people to vote on that, and I thought that was very cool.
Let's see if this works. Show. Drink. There you go.
Hey, there you go. Curry Corruption.
Yeah, now that I've been working with StreamYard on my own, where I can get at I'm an admin now, so I can get to the dashboard better. But so there you go. There's our currycorruption.com, which has a lot of the paperwork for what's been going on in Curry.
Look at there. You go. Ooh, I will accept the cookie. What does that mean, Marty, when you accept their cookies? Because I never get any cookies. I accept their cookies and I don't get shit. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I keep expecting Oreos to show up at my desk, and they don't. But I say I accept cookies, and they just don't give them to me. I'm like, they're lying. You're a bunch of liars. I hate that.
And I got another question. There are no black people in Curry County. Who's this black man?
They shipped him in for this storyboard.
I am going to get crap for that, people. I am just joking. It was a joke. We're really white here, and I'm just, saying.
I've actually seen a black person in Curry County, so there you go.
No.
But then again, it might have been, it might have been. Oh gosh, what's his name now? He used to be head of IT in Coos County, and then he ran for commissioner, and he's like the 6th black guy in Coos County.
Oh, Avery Horton.
Avery Horton, yeah. I kept thinking Stan Avery, and I know Stan's not black, so
we should have Avery Horton on the show one time. He's a hoot.
We should. Yeah, Horton is a hoot.
Horton is a hoot. I think I should call him up and have him come on the show. We've done shows where we've had pretty good conversation. It's one of those where he has a lot of insight to things that a lot of people don't. He's got this big, I'm not sure if it's YouTube. I think it's YouTube. He's got a big following. He does the stocks program where he tells you what stocks to buy and stuff. Have you ever seen this?
No, I have not. No, I stopped investing when the problem is I used to run stock market systems.
Yeah.
And I used to work for a financial software company where we were constantly doing formulas for risk management and risk analysis and market makers. And we, if you didn't have $2 billion under management, you couldn't afford our software. And I was so drinking from the fire hose in the stock market for all those years that when I got done, I'm like, nah, I pay somebody to manage my portfolio now. I'm just like, I just don't want to do it anymore, because it's like, there are two ways to make. Well, actually, I had the one way of constantly making money in the stock market.
Oh, do tell.
By running the trading systems. I got paid whether you bought or you sold. It didn't matter. I was still getting paid.
Right.
So that's how I made money in the stock market. Now there's two indicators though that are really useful if you want to make money at a reasonable manner. It would be use the reverse Kramer index.
Yeah.
That guy on Kramer, the Kramer guy who does the bull market, it's like, oh, this is a buy. This is a buy.
He makes me not want to invest. He's the carnival barker who makes me go, nope, I'm going to keep walking.
So so what people have been doing is they created the reverse Kramer index. And so every time he says it's going to go to this direction or that direction, they actually bet against it. So they do exactly the opposite of what he does. And their portfolio is up like 380%.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
By doing the reverse Kramer. The other one is the Pelosi tracker. If you follow Pelosi's sales, buys and sells, you do like 3 times better than the S&P.
Oh, wow.
So, but
I know nothing about the market, and I know that a fool and his money is easily parted. So I'll just stay the hell out of that.
I've gotten more entertainment by just taking a wad of bills and flushing it, as opposed to worrying about the market. So I figure I'm going to lose money either way. So.
So I'm going through this
website.
Wow.
Yeah, and I need to tell Jeff Eager about this, because if he has things that he'd like to add, that'd be great.
So Jane, there was a story that I wanted to cover, and Jane says, it's so vile that we are dehumanizing the infants, the elderly, and the disabled. And boy, isn't that true. So she says, why are Republicans not demanding Greg Smith to resign? And that was something I was asking as well. He just paid a fortune. I think it was $12,000 in fees for violating ethics rules. And really? Let's see if I can find that damn thing. Where is that guy?
Yeah, because I thought violating ethics rules was like, well, if you got an R next to your name, it's a problem. If you got a D next to your name, it just gets swept under the rug. So, I mean, whatever happened to Shima Fagan and Moda?
and Moda. Whatever happened to that story? And nothing has come of it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So here's the next thing. This is from OPB, because you can trust this source. And they say Eastern Oregon State Rep Greg Smith will pay $12,000 to settle latest ethics violations. The Oregon Government Ethics Commission found Smith illegally approved his own time cards as an agency director and leveraged his public position for pay. Yeah, I want him representing me in the State House. Yeah, he's on the grift. A lot of grift going. Oregon's longest-serving state representative will pay Oregon Government Ethics Commission $12,000 in fines for breaking state ethics laws and leveraging his position as director of an Eastern Oregon Public Development Authority for power and pay. He wanted power and pay because the authority wasn't enough.
Respect my authority.
These guys, man, they get in there and it's like, do as I say, not as I do. It's like my grandfather is running the place. Just do what I say. You got to respect my authority.
You should have respected my authority.
I mean, seriously. And so, Jane, I don't know why Republicans are allowing this to go on. I heard he lost his position on one of the committees. I think there was a committee that he was on that he actually lost. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. I got the story. Let's share this. Bloop. The Republican lawmaker calls for action against Smith as GOP leaders remain silent. And why are they remaining silent? Well, you know why, because they're all part of the grift as well.
Yeah.
House afterward emerged with State Rep Greg Smith was settling ethics allegations. A Republican colleague took to social media. The Government Ethics Commission on Friday, August 7th, made public that Smith, a Republican from Heppner, agreed to pay a $12,000 fine for unethical conduct stretching over a year. And I believe it was Dwayne Yunker. Yeah, Dwayne Yunker, the only one calling him out.
Wow. Well, and I'm not surprised by that because pretty much everything I've read about Dwayne Yunker is that he's an okay guy. So
yeah, this just ticks me off. This is the same kind of crap when people like David Brock Smith does this shit. I think even, the lady who's running for governor, she should have been called out a long time ago. Too late. She won the primary fair and square, and now we've got to back her no matter what the position is. Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, it's like that's probably the one person that could actually, beat Tina Kotek. But, but then again, you never know because of how the voting system works around here. So,
well, and that's the other thing. I know. Real Garza says, I'm reaching to your stream right now on my live stream. The crowd is loving you guys. Rock it. Oh, wow. Really cool. Coyote 3, Real Garza. Apparently, I'm already subscribed. All right. Very good. Let's see. Real Garza says, oh, hell yeah, good choice, brother. Jane says, LOL, I bother people every day. Yeah, I think you do, Jane. Yeah, you bother people. That's okay. It's a good thing. Yeah, lots of cities and counties are canceling with Flock, but watch for Axio contracts.
Oh, Axios?
Axio cameras attached right to existing light poles. Jane Brown says Greg Smith is still holding his position on another committee. Yep. He lost one committee. He paid, I guess, a small price. We'll see what happens. They definitely need to run somebody against this man or, Did you see the church lady came back on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, really? Dana Carvey?
Dana Carvey. Yeah. I got just a few minutes. I can only play just a few seconds of this because they'll kick me off. You know how they are. So here it is.
At least you haven't been doing a podcast.
Easy, church woman.
Oh, Hunter, it's actually church lady.
Oh, well, pardon me.
Pardon on you? Who do you think I am? Your daddy?
All right, yes, my father did pardon me, but I thought it was a good thing for the father to forgive the son. Right, church lady?
And that's about all I could get away with. But
Yeah. No, and so he was supposed to be playing Hunter Biden.
yeah, and he did a lousy job.
Well, maybe he needed to do more coke before going on stage. Who knows?
I suppose. Before I go any further, are you going to the Gathering of Eagles this year?
I've had 2 people ask me about it. I'm kind of interested in going. I just basically don't know where it is, and I don't know when it is. So
It's well, maybe I got the date here. It's September 19th, Gathering of Eagles, and it's time and venue to be announced. Okay, so September 18th, Gathering of Eagles. Wilson. Oh, it does say here.
Wilsonville, Oregon, and September 19th, 8:30 a.m. chicken, 9:30 a.m. GOE opening ceremony where they release the Eagles. Or not. But yeah, Tina Peters is supposed to be there. Of course, I know Dr. Douglas Frank,
Right.
and I know Teresa Hamilton.
Richard Burke's going to be there. Steve Bannon is going to make an appearance on video. I was the speaker at the first 2 Gathering of Eagles.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you speak about?
God, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I know what I did. The first year that they had the Gathering of Eagles, that's when we were taking on the Bandon Marsh expansion. And we were working with a lot of different programs, the coordination program where the county forces the state to coordinate with the county. And we were working on that. And I talked about that process and how you need to basically start locally. We were talking about it then, that all this is, we put the ballot question, the advisory question on the ballot about, do we want the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to expand the Bandon Marsh to take out everything from the mouth of the Coquille River all the way up to the 4-mile marker? And the people said, hell no. And that's what I talked about the first time around.
Oh, okay.
Roman Rogers says Don Powers Ranch again. They're going to have it there.
Yeah. Yeah. I put it up. You took it down. We're counter clicking on the.
Did we counter click? I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Oh no, that's okay.
You go for it.
No. It's fine. It's just basically, it's like, yeah, Don Powers Ranch, and what is going on with Don Powers nowadays? Anyway,
I have no idea. But as this comes closer, we'll be talking more about it. Yeah. I think it's something that was a good thing. Now, let me ask you a question. Just, and we're going to get in trouble for this, but I got to ask you this question. They are all drowning, these 3 choices. You can save only one. Who would you save? Mandami, Elon, or the dog?
Well, I got to go with the dog on that one.
Yeah, I got to go with the dog as well.
Yeah, the dog's not out to hurt me.
No. And the dog, I figured I would actually reach out for Elaine and the dog, because then you would have something to eat, you and the dog.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's just, and Mandami, you don't want to compete with another male. So, you just let him go, because you're going to be starting your own island with the dog and Elon.
Well, so long as her brother isn't there, the brother she married so she could circumvent, so she could get her green card.
Well, yeah, how okay. So how the hell can this woman be in Congress after we all know what she did with her brother? I don't know if she did that, but she did marry him on paper.
Yeah.
That's just freaking weird. That's against the law. Why doesn't anyone pay for this? I travel down the street without a seatbelt and I'm like terrified because I'm going to get pulled over. And this woman, she's, sometimes she has 30 million, sometimes she doesn't. Depends on what she's reporting to the IRS. Sometimes she's married to her brother, sometimes she doesn't. I'm saving the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and she, it was the whole story of, she left Somalia because of the brutal dictatorship there. And I'm like going, hold on. She was part of the brutal regime and then had to leave when they got run out of power. So she had to leave because she was running the brutal regime and the brutal regime got overthrown. And then Obama brought all the Somalians into a certain part of Minnesota.
Yep.
So, it's like the Hmong and the Somalis, just they own part of Minnesota, and having been in from that area, it's a little disconcerting where you're like, it's like, okay, you're used to Swedes, Norskies, Germans, Swiss, and then Somalians. Well, they don't blend in quite as well. So.
Well, and the fact that before they got here, they were hunting down Christians and killing them because they were Christians.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, talking about MJ and how she was running for North Bend.
Oh, yeah. And I just saw that Napa just had their 100, Golders Napa just had their 105th anniversary.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
Yeah, I saw a Chamber of Commerce certificate that said, it was like their golden anniversary for Golders Napa Auto Parts.
Oh, that is cool. That is very cool.
Yeah, so
she was telling me
we got more people going for the dog. It's the dog. It's the dog. Save the dog.
Documents and her illegal immigration practices. Yeah, exactly. So she was telling me a story. MJ was telling me a story that there was a criminal arrested for shoplifting and other crimes, because they don't get arrested for just shoplifting, at her store in Napa. And this was in Coos Bay, and they took him down to Coquille, let him out in Coquille, and he goes to the Napa and shoplifts.
Well, and then they pick him up in Coquille and take him to Bandon so he can shoplift at the Bandon Napa. I mean, it's like, why make him make that trip? Yeah, for your convenience, we'll bring the crooks to you.
We'll just bring the crooks to you. It's much easier that way. We know who they are and we know where they're at.
It's easier to keep track of them.
Jane Brown says elected officials are covered under 3 layers of immunity. Seriously, I was wondering why we were not seeing prosecutions, and that is what I discovered. And they've got qualified immunity. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. I need to get me one of them jobs.
One of them jobs.
Not that I've done anything illegal recently, but it's nice to know that if I get elected to certain positions, I can start doing illegal stuff and get away with it, because it seems to be an obvious thing. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
David
so, okay, you don't even have to do illegal shit anymore. You're going to love this. Okay. And you're going to hate this. This is going to piss you off.
Great.
Yeah, I know. It's already, I'm already infuriated just thinking about playing this. It's bad enough that they take our money and they use it for bullshit. But when they take our money and they give it to people who are our political adversary because they qualify for this type of funding, this is the commercial I'm talking about from the mayor of Los Angeles.
To our campaign is more critical right now than ever before. Let me explain. Thanks to LA's Supermatch program, every qualified donation from Los Angeles residents is matched 6-1 by the city. But after the primary, we had to start over from scratch. So we need you to rush your matching donation right now to help fuel this campaign. Chip in $5 right now, and the city turns it into $35. Chip in $25 right now, and the city turns it into $175. Make your matching donation today. Thank you so much.
I want Spencer Pratt, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so pissed off. They take our money.
Yeah.
And we're going to give it to people who you don't even like. And you can double it. We'll match the funds.
It's not even doubling. It's sextupling. You take $5 and you turn it into 30. So you multiplied it by 6, or you add 25 to it. So you multiply it by 5. So that's great. Where's that money
And-
coming from?
they
Where
make
does LA all of a sudden have all this money to be given away?
They save all that money from not wasting it on the water for the fires. I mean, they don't got the fire trucks. They don't got the water for the fire. They saved all that money because they didn't spend it on the homeless. They're fine, Marty. They got plenty of money.
Yeah, I mean they're well on their way of building another 0 miles of high speed rail at $5 billion per mile in downtown LA. So that's where all the money's coming from. Yeah, that's it.
Jeez, I saw that commercial and my blood pressure was like, whoo! We should be allowed to just smack the shit out of them if we see them on the street. Oh, you can quintuple your money by. Oh, wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and at first I thought it was a parody commercial because I had forgotten that she had that super fro going on, and I'm like, "What's Bozo the Clown doing talking about quadrupling our money?" I'm like, "Oh crap, that is the mayor of LA, that basshole."
That basshole. TJ, thank you for joining us, TJs. I've been assaulted 2 times this week on video, reported to the police, and he tried to run me off the road on dash cam. Still no action from Coos Bay Police. Wow. You're having a rough week, TJ. Yeah. Is it a leftist or is it just someone who's mad at you? We'll find out here.
We'll find out soon.
Roman says, Jane Brown, 100%. Broken heart, love, kiss, whatever. Jane Brown says it is qualified immunity, indemnified immunity, another type of immunity. Yes. Too bad they weren't immune to being assholes. Yeah. That's the type of immunity they need.
I wish we had some of those really good vaccines to get rid of their immunity.
Steve Nye is joining us. Steve, how you doing?
Can we move?
I wonder if Steve's been getting any dirty emails about me, or phone calls. That Rob Taylor, and now that you're the chair of the Republican Party, we got to bitch about Rob Taylor to you. I bet you he does. How much you want to bet, Marty?
Probably. But
Roman says it would be a hard government that would tax their citizens 1/10 their income. John Adams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 1/10 my income. No, that's what I get to keep. They're not taxing 1/10 of my income. They're taxing 90% of my income. They're taxing all of my income.
They're taxing 100% of my income, right? No wonder why they have no money. No wonder why they have no money. I guess that would be. And Stocks Family Farm says, someone who owes me money, I was talking shit. Oops. Oh, don't be talking shit now, man. That can get you in trouble.
But he is sort of a magnet for weirdo leftists, I must admit. But he's normally so calm, cool, and collected. He has way more patience than I will ever have, and he has a remarkable capability of forgiving people for being idiots. And I just don't suffer idiots gladly. So, I was talking to a policeman one time, and I said, "There's no way I could be a policeman." And, and he said, "Well, you're pretty smart and everything." I said, "No, I just have like a zero tolerance for idiots. I would never pass the psych eval."
Right.
He's going, "Well, you have to put up with idiots all the time." So
yeah, totally. Here is a video, and I was going to play this when Geyer Brandon was on the show, and this is from Geyer Brandon, and it's going to tie into an article that I'm going to put up here in a minute, but I want to play this video first off.
Red home indicator that you see on that map is a registered offender. Think about that. See this map here? Every red home indicator that you see on that map is a registered offender.
Think about that. And you wonder why there's so many sex offenders here. And sex offenders are usually created. Not all molested children grow up to be sex offenders, but most sex offenders were molested children.
Yeah.
And here we are in Oregon, once again, new filings in Oregon, Youth Authority, because we got to have authority over there, everything in Oregon. But the Youth Authority sex abuse lawsuits allege long-term cover-up. 13 former OYA staff say top management ignored years of complaints about Dr. Coldfingers. And you don't want to know why the boys called him Dr. Coldfingers. It wasn't pleasant for anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the thing is not only is Oregon a sanctuary state for illegals and it's an abortion vacation, or you can just, if you decide to come to Oregon and have an abortion, that's okay. Or if you decide to come to Oregon and drop a kid so you can become a citizen, well, that's okay too, because we're a sanctuary state. But we seem to be a sanctuary state for sex offenders as well, because we are number one in sex offenders per capita in the country. Oregon's the one thing that Oregon leads in is sex offenders per capita. The one thing that we're 50th place in is education quality, or business survivability. But sex offenders, we're number one. We're number one.
Well, this one kills me because it talks about it's an inopportune time for the state to try to settle what could be a very expensive litigation, given that last month the state agreed to pay an Oregon record $49 million settlement to state prison inmates harmed by COVID. That settlement was so large, the state had to defer most of the payout because its self-insurance fund is effectively out of money.
Wow.
So we gave all that money to prisoners because of COVID. So the kids, if you got molested, sorry, you're out of luck. Sorry.
Yeah, we had to give all that money to prisoners. And here's the thing that stuck out for me in that sentence is that because it's self-insurance fund, Oregon doesn't buy insurance, they self-insure. Oh man.
Yeah.
And these people are so good at managing money. It's like, and ODOT lost $2 billion and they've had 2 internal audits and an external audit, and nobody can figure out what went wrong. It's like, okay. So now we're going to have self-insurance. And how far behind are we in PERS, by the way?
Yeah, no kidding. And how far? That was something else funny. I got so distracted this week. I was going to check on that exact question. Where are we at with PERS? Because it's out of freaking control. And of course, I got distracted by other nonsense because that's what happens in the news cycle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ridiculous what we're having to put up with in this state. And they want more money. We want more money. Wish we could go back to 10% taxation. I wish we could too. Not directly, Rob, but there has been signs in the clouds. I thought it was crop dusting. We have our roles and respect them all. Speaking codedly, very codedly.
This just in. Another coded message.
Another coded message.
Good thing I know Morse code.
What's the next one?
Geyer is awesome. And
Geyer is awesome. Uploaded both my assaults to YouTube Shorts. Cops say I can be charged with harassment for talking shit and provoking him.
Well, now we know. So
now we know.
Yeah, I never realized you could be charged with harassment for talking crap to somebody because they owe you a bunch of dough.
That is kind of weird. I mean, isn't that something even the Judge Judy always says? When people go, "Oh, they were harassing me." No, they were trying to get their money.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, bang bang.
Fang got bang bang by Eric Swalwell when he was Swalwell.
Yeah. Well, I heard that he got arrested at the San Francisco airport. So.
Did he get arrested? I thought he was just his stuff was seized.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they just took all his electronics.
Federal agents seized electronic devices from former Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell at the San Francisco airport on Saturday and then raided his home on Washington, D.C. the next day as part of an ongoing probe connected to sexual assault allegations. Sources familiar with the investigation told CNN. Swalwell did not immediately respond to messages from CNN following the raid, but he was He has repeatedly denied all allegations of sexual assault. The FBI declined to comment. So if he ain't raping people, he's banging Fang Fang.
Yeah. Well, and the weird thing is that Pelosi knew he was banging a Chinese spy and was using that to make sure that he always did what she needed to get done. So she was basically his bagman, or Pelosi's bagman. It's like if she wants some dirt done, she would have Swalwell do it. Yeah. Because she had enough dirt on Swalwell to take him out. So that's why, even though he was banging the Fang Fang, it was, they knew quite well. I mean, they knew the real insurrection was done in November, November of before January 3rd. Right. It was November before that was the real insurrection. The January 6th thing was
the
just
election, right?
Yeah. But they knew all this stuff was going on. They knew all these Russian collusion things were fakes. I mean, and it's like, of course they knew. I mean, they've been basically treasonous and seditious the whole time, trying to destroy the government because they just don't like the fact that Trump is destroying the deep state. They're making billions, if not trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
The way it was, and they don't like that system being taken down. I mean,
and this goes back to what Jane Brown was talking about, how they're so protected. It's even hard for the Trump's Justice Department to get a lot of these people. And just the fact we are getting a few that we are getting. And here's the other thing. Everyone knew about this. Everyone knew about Swalwell and Bang Bang. We all knew she was a spy. It was pretty damn obvious. Okay, preponderance of the evidence. I don't know beyond a reasonable doubt, but preponderance of the evidence. You know who else? Who else's wife is accused of being a spy? Mitch McConnell, who we haven't seen in weeks, months. Maybe it's been months now. How long has it been? It's been a while.
It's been quite a while. I mean, the last time I talked with Mitch McConnell, I had to use my Ouija board. So, but yeah, his wife. I mean, they own a shipping company. His wife when he went to the hospital and died, or
right,
or was propped up and looked like a ventriloquist dummy. She immediately left for China because, the shipping company was tied to China and she was tied to China. And so, it's like, it's pretty obvious that, he's got China ties as well. It's not quite as glaring as, say, I don't know, David Brock Smith, but it's pretty glaring. So, but a lot of people are getting the slide.
Once again, there was a guy on Facebook. No, it was Twitter who was once again saying we were spreading misinformation about David Brock Smith and calling him China Dave. And he said he could defend his legislative record, and I challenged him to a debate. I said, well, would you like to debate that? And of course, he never got back to me.
Yeah.
The reason we call David China Dave is that he was receiving money from a guy who made most of his money from Asia in China and would have made a lot of money off those wind turbines that David lied about supporting after supporting it. And that's why we call him China Dave, because all of his actions benefited China. The trying to create unreliable energy sources in Oregon, that benefits China, not America. Trying to grift off the system and help him politically, that once again really was helping China, not America. It was helping himself. And then getting money from a guy who made millions and potentially trillions of dollars off of the wind turbine project.
Yeah. You know who really likes wind turbines? China. They don't use them. No, nobody uses that unreliable crap that just, that falls apart in 10 years and costs more energy to produce and maintain and erect and take down than it'll ever hope to make. But they love the fact that they can sell this crap to a bunch of dupes who are saying green energy. And it's like, China loves to sell the wind turbines. They'll never use the things, but they'll sell them.
So I don't got any evidence of David banging Fang Fang, because he'd probably want a Chinese boy instead of a girl anyway. And so we don't have that evidence. We don't have any evidence of him taking money or getting gifts from China, but we do have his voting record. And this guy wanted to, debate his voting record. And I was more than happy to go down that memory lane because once again, there it is, misinformation. Tell me where I'm lying. That's all I want to know. Tell me where I'm lying.
Exactly. I mean, it's like every time somebody uses that phrase, I'm like going, okay, I must be telling the truth because you just said it's misinformation, which is left to speak for you're telling the truth, but I can't admit that.
Right. Let's see.
I got something I can put up here.
Please do.
Okay. Doink. So did you see this a couple of days ago? The Secretary of State released a temporary administrative order that basically says, and it was filed on, what is it, the 18th? And basically it's stating where, when you have to file if a vacancy happens in an office where it's like, it's a nonpartisan. If there's a nonpartisan office and somebody vacates the office, then these are the deadlines for when you can file to run for that vacancy. And it's really small windows. But basically, it sounds like they know a bunch of people that are running in nonpartisan offices are going to be quitting. So that'd be like commissioners and clerks and sheriffs and the like. So all the people that have nonpartisan offices, if they quit, here is the deadline for when you got to file to fill that vacancy. And some of them are like really short. So if somebody quits between now and the August 25th, you got until August 25th to file. If somebody quits between August 25th and September 2nd, you have till 5 p.m. on September 2nd. So if somebody quits on September 1st, you have until 5 p.m. September 2nd to file for the vacancy. If they quit on September 2nd, then you have until noon on the 3rd. It's like, wow.
That's interesting.
So you have to know exactly when they file their vacancy, and then be like right there with
ready
your paperwork.
To go.
Yeah. It's like, here's my paperwork.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this right now.
Take my paperwork. Yeah. I want to run for clerk at the last second.
So that's something we were looking for. And I'm glad you put that up because I needed to remind people August 25th.
Yes, which is next, Wednesday, isn't it?
Next Wednesday.
You are correct.
So,
next Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. You're right. 25th, next Tuesday, you have until 5 o'clock to get to the clerk's office or to the respective city that you're running for either city council or mayor. All 7 cities. That's Powers, that's Bandon, that's Coos Bay, that's North Bend, that's Lakeside, and 2 other cities. And
yeah, and the other ones.
And Myrtle Point and Coquille, that's it. And so those other cities, all of them have at least 3 city councilors up for election, and they have a mayor up for election. You have till the 25th. And if you don't sign up by the 25th, don't bitch to us afterwards. If you can't really complain. I mean, if you're not willing to get into the race and fight against it, and Marty, it's scary as hell for people to get involved because, well, look how you were attacked. Look how recently my family's business was attacked. And so people are terrified, and Republicans especially are terrified because, this is wrong that this is being allowed to happen. This is why I'm going to the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm going to tell them we need to stop this boycotting businesses. We need to stop this for left, right, or any business. You have a right to do business, and you have a right to your opinion. And just because certain people, registered sex offenders who live in their mom's basement, who don't have a life, who live off their government, who are leeches of society, who are a detriment to society, can destroy businesses because he has a Facebook page, is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I have a question though. So, City of Bandon, they have some openings, but do you have to live inside the city limits?
Yes, you have to live inside the city limits for all the cities. And in fact, that was one of the initiatives that I tried to pass here in Bandon, and I didn't get enough signatures. It would have opened up the city, the mayor and the city council's position to the school district. The people in the school district still wouldn't be able to vote in city elections if they were outside the city, but they could run for office.
Huh.
Yeah. And that would have gave us a bigger pool of candidates.
Yeah, a bigger pool of candidates, I mean, technically, if it's Bandon School District, you should be able to vote for what goes on in the city of Bandon, I would think. But, if you look at the city limits of Bandon, it's just the weirdest darn, it follows 101 for a while, and then it disappears for a bit, and then it's got some areas down on Seabird and some along Beach Loop, and then other areas none at all. And you're like, what in the who designed this thing? I mean, who did? I mean, it's like, okay, like the concrete place, that's not in the city.
No, our business is 14th Street is the separation.
Yeah, you're out of town.
Yeah, our side is in the unincorporated area of the county, and the Saddleman side across the street is inside the city. So if they call the cops, they'll get a response. But if it's our side of the street, we won't get a response. And you'll love this. The cement plant, they got robbed. They were hit not too long ago. They got their gas stolen. Well, they just caught a guy stealing their gas. He had like 6 gas cans lined up next to the trucks, and he was trying to fill them up, and he caught the guys. They called the cops, and the cops wouldn't come.
Wow. So you had to call the sheriff?
I don't know what they did. Hopefully we never hear of this gas thief ever again.
Can't you just incapacitate him, drag him across the street, and then call the cops?
I myself, if you're going to steal gas, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to soak you in it, and then I'm going to introduce you to my Zippo. That's what I'm going to do, but that's just me.
Yeah. Where did this crime happen? Across the street?
Across the street.
Drag him across the street. Well, because it's out of the city limits.
Yeah, so. I can't commit a crime there. Yeah. Ezekiel says Mitch McConnell is a Terminator against communists. Yeah, right. Thies Breath 99. Part of the problem is that if you don't live within city limits, you can't run for office. Thank you for mentioning, though. And that's the truth. And I try to expand that and Bandon. Steve, you're still with us. Good. The Chamber of Commerce needs to stand up for their members and businesses. It's 101 for their mission. And that's what I'm saying. Why don't the people at the Chamber of Commerce, all of them are small business owners. A good portion of the people who are in the Republican Party are small business owners. Marty, you are a small business owner. You've owned several. So
yeah,
why aren't these people standing up for us?
Don't know. I've owned a lot of businesses, and oddly enough, except for one, they were all pretty successful. And the one that wasn't successful wasn't my fault. I swear to God, it wasn't my fault. But
it happens. If your business lasts more than a year, pat yourself on the back, because most businesses go out of business the first year. I think it's 70% of businesses go out of business within 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, our restaurant in San Francisco, we closed down after 12 years. But we made it through COVID. We were open for 10 years, and there were some fairly lean years, especially during the COVID stuff, where we basically were selling things through the front door. We couldn't have people coming in. But then that area, the lease came up. We decided not to renew. Somebody else wanted the building. We said, great, let's get the hell out of here, because San Francisco was turning into a cesspool anyway. But yeah, and then we had another restaurant, lasted 2 years. But somebody wanted we rehabbed the space. They liked the space so much they bought us out. And we said, great. We're not making money on this Belgian restaurant thing anyway. Airplane leaseback business, that worked a charm, did that for a long time.
You were telling me about that. That was a good idea. I love that idea.
Yeah, I wanted to fly, and I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it. So I basically created a business that would allow me to fly for free. And then the radio station was great for 5 years until the majority shareholder and the guy who kept the books was taking all our money and gambling it at the casino across the street. So we went out of business.
Contrary to popular belief, that's really not a retirement investment. Indian Casino is like on the bottom of the list.
No, I mean, you think that you think working the stock market has risk. It's way less risky than taking all your money that's supposed to be paying for rent and tower rental and FCC licenses and ASCAP and BMI licenses and all that good stuff and throwing it in a slot machine. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and this is really fun for me. It's like, well, okay, so he ran the thing out of business because he just, he was so far in debt that I actually tried to attach his house, and the sheriff in Ventura County said, "Get in line. There's already 10 people that have it." And I'm like, not going to make any money at that. And I said, well, at least with a radio station, you have residual value in the licenses because they don't do frequency allocations very often. So we had 590 AM and 96.1 FM. And I thought, well, the licenses are pretty valuable on their own. No. He screwed with the FCC so much. He was like moving the tower. He was moving the transmitter without telling us or the FCC. And the FCC really doesn't like when you do that.
They don't like the roving antenna. They really don't.
And we were supposed to have at night, it was a directional antenna. So you had to have, a certain lobe going in a certain direction at a certain strength so that you weren't drowning out like Sacramento station or, a Reno station or something. He wasn't doing that either. And he wasn't keeping any logs.
I could see some guy in his pickup truck with the antenna in the back. He's got a hooker, a bunch of blow heading for the casino. Hey, we're going to have a great time. I love radio. Radio's where it's at.
Yeah, we're doing a remote broadcast from the truck. Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. And we've got our transmitter and our antenna on the truck. So the FCC can't catch us.
Oh, geez.
And
what's sad is FCC, it's based on a true story.
Yeah. And the FCC deallocated the frequencies. So not only did I lose the call signs, but I lost the frequencies. And
always protect the license, number one.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. And by the time I figured it out, it was too late. And and I was like, oh, great. So that's a cool way to lose $200,000.
That's a cool way to lose $200,000. Not.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get to go to the casino. Damn.
No, I didn't get any free hookers, blow, or casino time. Damn it.
I would complain. You've been a victim. Where's that white privilege when you need it?
I'm obviously not paying for my white privilege correctly, or I'm not using it right. Not. I don't know.
You were Dumeier. I don't know. I'm telling you. He didn't pay the good old boys. No. Did you see that Coos article? That was hilarious. He didn't pay his good old boys dues. And that was rich. Jane Brown says, I would run for city of Roseburg. I live in the city limits technically, but we are listed as county. Ezekiel says he is an anime cartoon. I think he's talking about Sal. And
I thought maybe he was talking Mitch McConnell, but okay. Yeah.
Oh, he may be. He might be. Thies Breath. Everyone better understand how important the Second Amendment is, and it is. Jane Brown says our neighborhood apparently was county and the city grew up around us. That happens. That happened. Actually, that's why the city of Bandon is so weird.
Yeah. I mean, when I lived in Bandon in high school back in the 70s, I was at the south edge of town and I was on 12th Street.
Yeah.
So, there wasn't anything south of there. I mean, Seabird was a gravel road. I mean, where the Best Western is on Johnson Creek, on Beach Loop was the only golf course in town. It was Face Rock Golf Course. So, which no longer exists. But
that's right. It no longer exists.
But I've heard that the Bandon Biota / Bandon Dunes people are thinking of converting that into a park.
That would be nice of them. I would welcome that.
Yeah. I mean, the city, they tried to sell it as a golf course. And I think I already told you this, that, when it was still a golf course, one of the problems is when they put in the Best Western, that used to be the first hole. So it would be an 8-hole it'd be an 8-hole golf course.
It's for little people.
Little people, a pitch and putt. But I thought about buying it and then building vacation rentals or condos or whatever around the perimeter. So you could basically just walk out, get on the course, do a tune-up round, and your wife and kids could go down to the beach or ride horses or do
That's
whatever.
a good idea.
And when I what I found out is that they're selling just the course. So when you got to the out of bound lines on the fairway, that was the end of your property. You couldn't build anything on it. And I'm like, well, I don't want a par 3 golf course. I mean, what the hell am I do with that? Especially if it's a par 3 golf course with only 8 holes. I mean,
that's a good idea for here. You walk outside, you got your golf course,
Yeah, your wife and your kids can putt around on the pitch and putt golf course, or they can go down to the beach, or they can go horse riding on the beach, or, and there's all sorts of things you can set up to, keep them entertained. And then you can go to the big boys golf course up at Bandon Dunes.
Well, can you bring it in and make it like a putt?
Well, we probably could, yeah.
It's got potential. And I like a park too. Park would be nice.
But they also wanted like $2 million for it. And I was like, come on, get real.
Ooh,
yeah.
Damn.
There's, okay, sure, inflated prices for potential, but even I'm not stupid enough to pay for that. So
there's no way we're ever selling our houses because we'll never be able to replace them for the price that we purchased them. So
yeah,
that's sad.
I was like,
but
I was complaining about the fact that I sold my plane when I moved out of Oakland. Yeah. And, and now I'm like, to get the exact same plane, the exact same age, the same amount of time on the airframe, everything, it would be twice as expensive as it was before. I bought my plane for $50,000. I sold it for 25 because it needed a new engine, which cost 25 grand. And now to buy the exact same plane, it'd be 110, 120 grand. I'm just like, gads. That's just amazing.
I want to let everyone know that next Wednesday we are having I have to say this or it's going to go right out of my mind. We're having the Coos County Republican meeting, our monthly meeting. It happens on the 4th Wednesday of every month. It will be at the headquarters. Starts at 6:00. If you want to come get burgers, I'd get there around 5. Get there around 5, and it's some really good stuff. They do a good job with the burgers. And there it is, the new Republican headquarters. Oh, I didn't get the picture with the sign. We actually got a sign, Marty. It's huge.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you took the existing signboard and actually put a sign on it.
So we're, moving on up to the east side.
Well, you are on the east side now, aren't you?
And we are on the east side. And of course, we are endorsing and support Christine Drazen, Monique Despain, Claire Lynn. And you can get their signs if you want to get a sign. And I've got some 4x8s. I got some huge signs for Christine Drazen. If you guys need these signs, please, please, please contact me, Rob at robtaylorreport.com, or come by the headquarters anytime between Monday through Wednesday from 2 till 6.
So I wonder if that is pronounced the one you just put up. Let me put it up again. It says, is it the U.S. breathed 99?
The U.S. breathed.
The U.S. breathed 99, because I'm like Thessus breathed.
Thessus breathed.
Thessus breathed 99. Yes, Thessus breathed 99.
Just stop it.
Suffer and succotash.
Christine Drazen has done well in at least one poll. She's within the margin of error for others. Like I said, she's not my first choice, but I'm sure as hell backing her for governor because, well, Kotek is a douchebag, and it's just we need to get rid of her.
Yeah. Yee.
And I think I even had. Did you see where Hanoi Jane endorsed Tina Kotek for Oregon governor?
Wow. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, she's a total commie, and most people don't even know about Jane Fonda and what she did during Vietnam, how she went over and she sat on anti-aircraft that was used to shoot down American planes. And she was a communist sympathizer. Her dad was always a leftist. He was always portrayed as Mr. American, the average American. He really wasn't. He was a leftist, and the whole Fonda family. Well, if they weren't tripping on acid and screwing around with everyone, they were a bunch of commies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she went over there, and like you said, she was posing with anti-aircraft guns that shot down our guys. And then when she met some of the guys in prison, and they were trying to pass her notes to bring back to the United States to tell their families where they were and all that good stuff, she handed it over to the prison guards, which basically gave them a death sentence.
Yeah.
And so
people don't realize that. Yeah.
So they call her Hanoi Jane for a reason, because one, she's annoying, but two, because she's a commie who was actively destroying our troops in Vietnam. So
they should have hung that bitch. To me, that's treason.
Oh yeah,
what she did to those soldiers, and the people forget about that. And she's, don't forget her riding the cannon on a tank. Yeah, she spread eagle on the cannon on a tank. Remember, and then she was on the anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, I remember relatives of mine coming unglued when that happened. I mean, they were, let's get in the pickup truck and go hunt down this bitch. And this was when Americans still loved America. And what she did, today she would, and today she is honored by the left, but back then, if that would have happened now, they would be saluting her, saying, what if a great feminist empowering women to, give comfort and aid to the enemy.
Yeah. Oh, and we figured out, Oh, more taxes from Kotek. What a surprise. They it's sort of like giving an alcoholic another big bottle of booze going, well, this time, you're going to stop.
Yeah, it's this time. And of course, we're supporting this guy right here. We need Steve, a fresh voice for Douglas County. That was another thing. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think that their hearts were in the right place when they passed that resolution in Douglas County going against the sanctuary state status? I thought it was kind of a political ploy to help out Chris Boyce, who's being pretty well challenged by Steve here. And so they needed to do something to really make the people take notice. What do you think? Am I wrong there? Am I right there? What am I at?
I was surprised it got through. I was kind of hoping we'd do the same thing in Coos County. But yeah, was it a political ploy? I don't know. Does it have any teeth? I don't know. But it certainly sends a good message, which I'm fine with. So,
I totally agree with you. I think it sends a good message. And
the whole reason I wanted to put the advisory ballot measure on a while back about what do you think about going back to 1 day in-person ID mandatory, hand count elections, precinct level elections. Not because it's going to change anything. It's an advisory ballot measure. It's like, what do you think about this? It's not like we're going to do something about this. But the whole idea is it gets it out in front of everybody. Yep. And it makes a point where it's like, if of the 50,000 people that are registered to vote in Coos County and the 35,000 people that are actually legal voters in Coos County, all said, 90% of them said, we want to go back to this way of voting, it sends a pretty strong message.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to remind everyone, I'm getting really tired. Gosh, yeah, I'm getting old. Everything happens because I'm getting old. Let me go through these comments real quick.
And we got an answer to our question. It's the It's Theus is God, so it's God's breath 99, or God breathed. God breathed 99.
God breathed.
Theus.
Okay, we'll go with that. But
Okay.
he says all counties should issue a county ordinance. Stock Family Farms TJ says we need a petition to make the LGBTQ XYZ MOUSE stuff in schools a county by county thing and hopefully remove it from most of the state. That would be nice. Yep, it was votes for Boyce 100%. Jane calls it. I agree with you, Jane. It was votes for Boyce. Votes for Boyce is what they were doing there. They really needed it.
Yeah, isn't there a Boyce that's running for commissioner
Chris
out
Boyce.
there?
Yeah, he's running against Hammerson. And that's why he passed the sanctuary ordinance, or the resolution opposing the sanctuary ordinance, because he wanted to get support in the election.
Gotcha.
And next week, we've got Geyer coming on the show. Geyer Bandon from the Geyer Show is going to be on. He's going to be talking about some of the videos that he has taken. In fact, I think I got one here loaded up. I was all ready for today's show, and I think I even got one here that he has done. This is another one of his.
Oh, COVID spread from you. Don't touch my camera. Do not touch my camera. I'm on a public property. If you don't like to be filmed, you can walk away. You just said something pretty radical. You said COVID is spread through us killing and eating animals. Can you please explain that?
That humans ate bats. That is what the story that I heard. And that
actually, it was gain of function research that was in a lab conducted by Anthony Fauci.
All right.
But that's some of his stuff. I'll show the whole video next week. But that was from the Geyer Show.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he said, that's a pretty interesting accent. She's like, oh, yes, I'm from Germany, or something like that. It's like, yeah, so people from out of the country are collecting signatures for petitions in Oregon. Great.
And it's perfectly legal.
Oh,
it's
I know.
Legal. There's nothing wrong with it.
I didn't say it was illegal. I just said it was great.
Great. Yep.
Oh, I have something real quick here. Dun, da, da. Coffee with Coker. Yeah. So Lynn Coker is a commissioner in Curry County, and he was appointed when Brad Elkhorn stepped down because of health issues. So he is a commissioner. He's running for re-election, and he's got a lot of great ideas about how to work to make problems, go away, or to solve problems. So we're going to be having a couple of meet and greets where he's going to be talking with subject matter experts, and we're going to be recording them and putting up probably up on Facebook and YouTube and on his website, which is votecoker.com. So
I wish I had that video of Coker. I had a really cool video of him going after the Bohm guy. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will look for that. Well, I'll have to find that because that was really good. Also next week, Right Side Rebel Serena will be joining us. So we've got two superstars joining us next week. I'm excited.
Woo! All righty. Sounds like we're wrapping up the show.
I think we are. I think we're wrapping it up. Saturday, August 22nd, tomorrow, folks, from 3 to 5. I'm Marty. I'll give you a call, see if you want to head out there, and we'll go do a flag wave.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right, very good. And of course, we got to mention our sponsors because our sponsors rock. I don't have a flag here. That's weird. I used to have a little flag here.
Anyway, when you need trees looked at, call 3H Tree Service, 541-294-1800. That's 541-294-1800. 3H Tree Service, tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, free estimate. And as a matter of fact, did you know that 3H Tree Service is the only tree service in Coos County that has an arborist license from the Oregon Landscape Contractors Board? You don't? Well, you do now. So give them a call if you want some trees worked on. 541-294-1800.
Here's some of their work.
I'll be the last one when the lights go out. I'm down to one last breath, but I can't stop now. We we all fall down sometimes, yeah, but that's just life. So cross my heart and hope to die. Baby, I was born to fight the fear when I feel like dying. I'm trying to fly high, but I'm not a pilot, can't deny it. There's some days I feel idiotic, just a product of a system where you're lucky just to make a dollar. That ain't gonna stop me, cause my grind's contagious. Do what it takes to turn passion to paychecks. And if I go down, I'ma do it on my terms. And every single problem is a lesson that I learned. The darkest night, when things seem so broken.
Boy, I bet we don't have the rights to that song.
Oh, shoot. Damn it. They're going to zap me. Oh, God. See, it's so complicated. All those complicated rules. Oh,
I know. It's so annoying because, like I said, when I had the radio station, we had to have ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC just for playing it over the air. If we were streaming, then we had to go to the streaming license service and get that. And if we were streaming and we had to happen to have listeners in places other than the United States, then we either had to block it or we had to buy a completely different license. And I'm like, wow. And then it's like, and then you have to record who listened to what song at what time in what country so that you can send the money to the right licensing agency. And I'm like, I wouldn't feel so bad about this if this money actually went to the artists or the people that wrote it or the people that recorded it, but it's not. It's going to the people that are running the licensing agencies.
It's very frustrating, and I doubt we've got the license for or the rights to play that.
Yeah,
and I'm all for protecting intellectual rights, intellectual property, but damn, if it's just 20, 30 seconds, give it a break,
Well, and there used to be a fair play rule where it was like if you had it less than, I think it was 30 seconds or 25 seconds or whatever, it's like, okay, you're fine. I mean, more often than not, they're not going to chirp you on it too much, but it's just one of those. I mean, it was weird because I had Amazon. It's like, you can stream your services on Amazon and AWS and in the cloud and all that stuff. And I said, okay. And then like a week later, I was served with a takedown notice because I didn't have the right licenses for streaming in a certain place. And I was just like, wow, hey, I thought you guys were supposed to take care of that. Oh no, you're on your own for licensing. And I'm like, so you're giving me streaming service, but you're not helping me. Yeah. Okay, great.
That sounds about right.
I found one place though. There's a place in England called Mixcloud, which essentially allows you to put your shows up on there if they have music. Cause I have all 5 years of my music show up there, and they have no problem playing it because they will actually pay the licensing for when somebody plays the song. And I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good service.
That is a pretty good service. That's all right. I like that. I'll have to go check that out sometime.
It's Mixcloud. And now back to the commercials.
Now back to the commercials, conveniently in progress. Tom and Gigs, lift kits and performance accessories, and they do automobile and truck maintenance. So if you want to get your car tuned up or your truck tuned up, or you want to get a lift kit, or you want to get some fancy bling to put on your car or truck, well, that's the place to go. It's Tom and Gigs at 135 South Shoneman Street in Coos Bay, Oregon, or Empire, if you want to call it that. 541-888-4660. That's 541-888-4660. Expert installation, quality products. Your ride is worth it. Stop by today. Not only do they do real cars and trucks, but they have a whole bunch of RC products as well. They have RC cars, RC trucks, RC planes, RC. Do they still have the RC surfboarder guy? Yeah, I think the last time I was there, they had them. They had some really cool drones. The drones were pretty cool.
Yeah, and they probably have drones, but are they killer drones? Because we need
killer drones. Well, they got the Tannerite. So
that's right.
And I don't think I'm supposed to say this during the commercial because you're not supposed to say things like mix the Tannerite with the RC car and you could make a Clint Eastwood movie where you're blowing up the bad guy but don't do that, folks, because you had to be 18 or over to buy Tannerite. So,
Can we do that like a month or so ago where we're like saying, Tannerite and RC cars, what a great combination.
Yeah. And we're not supposed to do that.
Oh, okay. So don't do that. All right.
We won't.
It's not.
And another station.
And another mistake for another day. Oh,
Another
thank
mistake for
you.
another day.
I was not up to my current quota of mistakes for today, so it's nice to know I've covered the spread.
Always guaranteed on the rant. You can always guarantee that.
Yeah. So anyway, another one of our great sponsors is Herbal Choices. It's cannabis, premium cannabis in coastal Oregon. Discover quality, shop responsibly, experience the difference. TheHerbalChoices.com is their website. You got to be 21 years or older, and you got to have an ID just to get into the joint. They have 5 convenient locations in Coos Bay, Charleston, Bandon, Reedsport, and North Bend.
North Bend.
Okay.
North Bend.
I'm just going by.
And remember, folks, this is a drug, so do not operate heavy equipment or light equipment. Do not drive under the influence of marijuana, and do not give this to children, or we'll come to your house and beat you insane.
Yeah, and don't mix it with tannerite.
And don't mix it with tannerite. What are you, crazy people? Jeez,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. Now that we've mentioned it, there's going to be a horrible accident where somebody's like eating a gummy and mixed with tannerite and their head explodes.
With the RC car, they're going to get the RC car,
yeah.
eat the gummies, get the tannerite, and we're going to get sued for multi-billion dollars. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it works, you know. It's America. Hezekiah says, how un-American of you not to have a flag with you all the time.
See, I have a flag and a windmill, so I'm set. I got it all, baby. I got it all.
Jane says, good night, Rob and Marty. Great show. Good night, Jane. We're getting ready to get out of here.
Yep.
Steve Knight says, you said C. You said CSAC.
You said CSAC by the seashore. Well, actually, Steve said Sea-Shack by the seashore.
The Sea-Shack by the seashore.
Yeah. Steve's got a
Marty. Oh, Marty. That's what he was saying. Is on Sea-Sack by the seashore. Oh, Marty.
Okay. Oh, man.
Jeff Petit says, way to announce it to the world, Marty. Well, he does that. That's what he does. That's what he does. I don't know what that was coming from. Ezekiel says, YouTube copyright goons are coming. Yeah, they'll probably be coming after us.
They're coming to take us away. Ha-ha. They're coming to take us away to the funny farm where things are fun and life is always gay. Hey.
Where life is always great. Well, it's been a blast. Next week, Geyer and Serena. It should be a pretty cool one.
Yeah, quality guests and, people that actually know what they're talking about. That'll be a nice change of pace.
That would be a nice change of pace. All right. Well, until next time, folks, carry on, Coos County. Carry on.
Carry on.